What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today's video is going to be a video of me going through my 11 of the squad of 11 of the best players for Arsenal have had since we moved to the Emirates Stadium in 2006. So obviously we go through a normal 11 of players which would set up for a normal game. We've gone up with the 4-3-3 formation, so let's not waste any time. Let's go straight into this. So, guys, starting with the goalkeeper. Now, I've gone with someone, I think he's only one of 3 people who's still in Arsenal squad at the moment, and that is Bernd Leno. I know he hasn't been here for long, he's only been here for 2 full seasons, but I genuinely think we haven't had a goalkeeper as good as him since Jens Lehmann. He is such a good goalkeeper. I'm not going to lie, Wojciech Szczesny came close, because I know he's gone on to be a brilliant goalkeeper, but he's done that at Juventus and at Roma, and he didn't actually do it at Arsenal, so I couldn't really say him for this spot. So I went with Bernd Leno, one of the only players to come out of this season with any bit of credibility. He's been a very, very good player for us last season and especially this season, where so many players have been poor. Leno has stood out as one of the best ones. He's making so many crucial saves. One particular save which stands out for me since Leno's been here is the save to deny Musa Sissoko at Wembley against Spurs last season, where he initially made a decent one from Eriksen. It fell out to Sissoko and on the edge of the box. Looked like it was flying into the top corner, and Leno somehow managed to get up and react really quickly to palm it away. What a save that was. And Bernd Leno is the goalkeeper for this team. Moving on now to the defence. And starting off with it, we will be going with our right back, which I have chosen Bacary Sagna. Now, Bellerin did come extremely close, but I went with Bacary Sagna in the end. I think the reason why I chose Sagna instead of Bellerin is because, I don't know, I just really like Sagna. I like Bellerin as well, but there was something about Sagna in which he obviously really liked the club. He played for the fans. He was very loyal, knew what the club was about, knew the side of the club, and he never complained about anything. He always just got on, did his job at right back, and did it really well. Could defend and go forward very well. Wasn't the quickest, but he had a very good cross and often popped up with important goal every now and then, including one against Spurs at the Emirates. However, one moment stands out for me is his goal line clearance. I mean, at least I think, am I being wrong in saying this, that it was him who made a brilliant goal line clearance against Aston Villa at Villa Park, or was it him, or was it Alex Song? I don't know if it was Bacary Sagna. Then again, it's another reason to put him in. Bacary Sagna just edges ahead of Bellerin for the right back spot for this team. Now, starting off at centre back, someone who left the club in a bad way and won't be the first in this team to do so is Laurent Koscielny. And even though he left in a bad way, I cannot deny what he did for the club. Was with us for nearly a decade, captained us for nearly half of that, and overall was just a fantastic, solid defender. The main part of the defence for years and years and years. And in his prime, one of the best centre-backs in the league. But unfortunately, it was disappointing the way he left, especially being club captain at the time. What a defender Laurent Koscielny was. One of my favourite defenders, personally, as well. But it was just a shame how he left. But obviously, this video is not about that. It's celebrating what he achieved at the club and was with us for a lot of the Emirates era so far. So Laurent Koscielny was one of the easiest choices for me in this video. Now, partnering Koscielny in this team was somewhere I had a lot of trouble with. For me, Koscielny was very easy for the first centre-back, but the second centre-back I struggled on. There was quite a few names I was throwing about, but eventually I settled on Per Mertesacker. Maybe a controversial choice. Someone who I actually think was very underrated. Yes, I know he was slower than anything, but if we're talking actual defender, he was quality. He was always at the right place at the right time, cleared the ball, brilliant. He was just no nonsense, clear the ball. He was massive as well, being 6'7", so he just one headers easy. He's popped up with the important goal now and then. And one thing that stands out for me about Per Mertesacker is that incredible performance in the 2017 FA Cup final. Hadn't played all year, came in for the biggest game of the season in an injury crisis, and put in an extremely good man-of-the-match performance against the team which had almost gone the whole league season unbeaten and absolutely stormed the Premier League. So, fair play to Per Mertesacker. I think he's a very honorary and member of this team. Again, like I said, popped up the important goal again. Another player that he scored his first goal for the club against Spurs. which again, obviously, anyone who scores against Spurs is always going to instantly become a favourite at the club. And yeah, Per Mertesacker, a player I always liked, and actually, like I said at the start, always thought was underrated. I think if he was quicker, I genuinely think he'd be one of the best centre backs Arsenal have ever had. Especially if he, I know he struggled with injuries as well. But honestly, as a natural defender, he was almost world class, I'd say. Brilliant defender, and Per Mertesacker definitely deserves his point in this team. Although, like I said, I did struggle with this spot. Moving on to left back, and for me, this is one of, if not the easiest choice in the list. Again, if we're talking underrated, I don't think Arsenal have had a more underrated player in the Premier League era. I think he maybe rivals Gilberto for the whole Premier League, but especially certainly in the Emirates era, I think this man is the most underrated Arsenal player since we moved to the stadium. It is Nacho Monreal, one of my dad's favourite players as well, just because, similar to Baku Sangya, never complained, just played at left back, did his job, and did it brilliantly. Again, similar to Mertesacker, was never the quickest, but he was solid. Very good defensively, good going forward when needed to. I remember in his last full season with the club, I think it was his last full season anyway, it was the 17-18 season, he was one of our top scorers. He finished with, I think, 7 or 8 goals, which is absolutely fantastic for a player who, before that season, never really scored. But he was a really, really solid player. Improved, got better every year. Again, popped up the important goal now and then. For me, the one that stands out is, of course, the equaliser against Man City in the 2017 FA Cup semi-final. But I could equally choose his first goal in the FA Cup quarter-final against Man United at Old Trafford, in which we went on to win 2-1. So I was a big fan of Nacho Monreal, and Arsenal fans, we appreciated him anyway. We recognised how good he was, but outside of Arsenal fans, no one really talked about him. He was consistently, I think, one of the best left-backs in the league. And I think, again, it's one of those players which, just because he wasn't the quickest, and for fullback, obviously, that's a position you need pace for, and something he didn't have, people could just kind of overlooked him. But again, similar to Mertesacker, as a natural defender, he was brilliant, solid, good going forward as well. Nacho Monreal, one of the easiest choices for me in this video. Now, guys, moving on to the midfield three. I did say at the start we were playing a 4-3-3 formation, and starting off with the midfield is arguably one of, if not my favourite player of all time. A player who gets a lot of stick, and sometimes rightly so, but there's no denying that he is a very, very, very good player, especially on his day, and that is Mesut Ozil. Again, one of the players which is often scapegoated, I think, by the fans, and there was so much excitement. I think one of the reasons for that is there was so much excitement when he signed. Smashed our club record signing, brought in for £42 million, which at the time was a massive fee. There was so much expectation, so much hype, and even though he's definitely not been a flop, he's not been bad, I just don't think he's lived up to expectations that much. But he's been quality, I think, especially in that 15-16 season where he got 20 assists, and he brilliant. We were brilliant that season. We were a quality striker away from winning that league, and if we had Aubameyang or Lacazette now, or not now, sorry, in that 15-16 season, we would have won the league, and Ozil would have got nearly 30 assists. Mesut Ozil definitely deserves his point in this team, in this midfield as well. Now, joining Ozil in the midfield is one of my favourite ever players, someone I was gutted when we sold to Juventus for a free transfer. I still can't get over that. It is, of course, Aaron Ramsey. Again, one of those players which is extremely loyal to the club, here for 10 years, and over time, I think, even though he's Cardiff born and bred, I think he's probably an Arsenal fan now. He said he still watches our games, still cheers us on. He was a proper Arsenal person, and again, maybe someone who was often scapegoated, but we can't deny his quality. A very, very good player. Won us 2 FA Cups with 2 winning goals against Hull and Chelsea respectively, and I still can't believe we let him go on that free contract. But what a player Ramsey was. Very loyal, never complained really, and and Ramsey again, one of the easiest choices for me in this video. And finally, guys, the final midfielder in this team. Again, one of those players which left in a bad way, I'd say, is Cesc Fabregas. brought in very, very young by Arsene Wenger in the Invincible. Was it in the Invincible season? I think it was, as a 16-year-old, and was here again for years and years and years. I think nearly a decade. Was part of the team which moved from Highbury to the Emirates. That's when he was very young, starting to break into the first team. But yeah, eventually became club captain and was one of our best players in the start of the Emirates era when we were starting. We didn't have a lot of money. Arsene Wenger was forced just not really to buy quality players, and we still continued to get top four, and most of that was down to Fabregas. Absolutely brilliant player, always contributed to loads of goals and assists, and again, even though he left in a bad way, we can't deny the quality he had for us when he did play for us. And now, guys, joining the attack, we're going to start with the right winger, a player who wasn't really a right winger, but I've stuck him there in this team because he can still play. One of my favourite all-time players, and again, one of those players which kind of left in a bad way, but I still love him, is Alexis Sanchez. And the reason I still love him is because even though he didn't leave in an entirely bad way, it wasn't as bad as a Nasri or an Adebayor, but he did obviously leaving to Man United isn't really gonna get the fans happy, is it? But again, Sanchez, what a player! I genuinely believe he is the best player Arsenal have had since Thierry Henry. Like, he was absolutely class. One of the few world-class players we've had since we moved to the Emirates. And I think his record was like 80 goals in all competitions in like 160 games, which is mental. If he had stayed for about, I reckon, like 2 or 3 more seasons and stayed at the top and kept on scoring the amount of goals he was, instead of going to United and Mourinho ruined him. Like, he would have been he would have cemented himself as an Arsenal legend. I think he is just outside that. I don't think he is an Arsenal legend. I don't think he's in that category. I think he's just outside. But if he had stayed for another 2 more years, I think he'd be an Arsenal in that group. What an unbelievable player he was. I think my favourite Alexis Sanchez moment is so many, but for me it has to be that goal in the 2015 Cup Final. One of the best goals Arsenal scored in the last few years. And yeah, Alexis Sanchez, what an unbelievable player he was. Moving on to the opposite wing, the left winger. Again, a player who's not really left winger. And the final player who's still at Arsenal now. Our best player by an absolute mile. Our club captain. Again, one of my favourite ever players, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I couldn't leave him out. Yes, again, he hasn't been here for the longest time. Only 2 full seasons. But how could I leave him out? What a player. Again, along with Alexis Sanchez, one of the best players we've had since we moved to the Emirates. He's carried our team this season. And if it wasn't for him, we could be in a relegation battle. In fact, we probably would be nearly relegated if it wasn't for Aubameyang, which is mental. And that just shows how important he is to the team. I'd be gutted if we let him go. What a player. Just over, I think, nearly 70 goals for the club already, which is mental. And half of that was spent with Unai Emery, who was a defensive coach and played boring, crap football. Like, he's thriving under Arteta at the moment. I think if we can keep him for 1 more full season, I really hope it's not like Alexis Sanchez. If he stays for 2 or 3 more full seasons and keeps scoring at the rate he is, again, he could easily be regarded as an Arsenal legend. He could easily hit 100 or more goals for the club in that time. What a player. Really hope he stays. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in that left wing. I know, obviously, he's not really left winger, but he has played there this season, though. And finishing off the team up front, taking the striker role, I could not leave this guy out. Again, left in a really bad way, especially compared to the likes of Sanchez, whatever, Fabregas. He left in a terrible way. But how could I leave out Robin van Persie? One of those players which, if he stayed for a few more years, would be regarded as an Arsenal legend. And I think he did hit over 100 goals for the club. If he stayed for 2 or 3 more years, I genuinely believe he'd be regarded as the same breath as Henry and Ian Wright as one of our best strikers of all time. But no, he left. And to be fair to him, he left for Man United, which was fair enough, and he went on to smash it for them in that first season with them and win the league with them, which is fair enough. But yeah, I know I don't like him now, but I couldn't leave him out. And I know I'm probably going to get a comment saying, oh, where's Thierry Henry? Thierry Henry only played 2 full seasons at the Emirates, so I couldn't really choose him here over RVP. And Robin van Persie is going to finish off this team. And guys, if that's the team, so the final team, I'll read it out. So it's Leno, Sagna, Koscielny, Mertesacker, Monreal, Fabregas, Ramsey, Ozil, Aubameyang, Sanchez, and then Van Persie. I think this is fair enough. Yeah, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Peace out.